following is an exclusive presentation of Ravens Productions.
Coming up on this week's edition of Ravens Report, the Ravens have a huge game ahead against the Tennessee Titans. We sit down with running back Mark Ingram and head coach John Harbaugh to preview the matchup. Plus, Pernell McPhee and Bradley Bozeman are mic'd up on Sunday Night Football. All of that and more on this week's Ravens Report.
15-10-5, touchdown Ravens. They're dancing in the aisles. Oh, what a scene we have at M&T.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Welcome into this week's edition of Ravens Report from the Under Armour Performance Center. I'm Garrett Downing. After a tough loss on a rainy night in New England, the Ravens turned the page and welcomed the Tennessee Titans to Baltimore on Sunday. Now, both of these teams are sitting here at 6-3, and it's a packed AFC playoff race. There's no question about it. This is a big game, and after last year's home playoff loss to the Titans, it does feel like there's a little something more to this one, and you know that the Ravens are going to be fired up for it. Now, much of the focus this week has been on stopping Titans running back Derrick Henry, and for good reason. He's second in the NFL with 946 rushing yards this year. But the Ravens offense also needs to get back on track, and the running game is going to be an important piece of that. Evan Washburn sat down with veteran running back Mark Ingram to talk about how the Ravens bounce back this week.
Give us to Ingram, right side, touchdown Ravens. Mark Ingram with the first score of the day. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Ravens.
Mr. Mark Ingram, thanks as always for the time. Good to see you. Obviously, last week was a challenge, but you know better than anyone, 10 years in this league, it's a week-to-week league. So as best you can, Mark, take us inside the locker room. What's been the message and the mood of the team this week?
We've had a couple of tough losses, but we still have everything ahead of us. We're 6-3. We got the Titans coming in this week, so we don't really have time to ponder on, last week. We have to focus on getting ready for a great team coming in here into our house and just focus on being the best we could be, playing winning football. We're focused on having a great week, getting ready for the Titans, and putting our best foot forward on Sunday.
And Mark, I think somewhat lost in playing football during a pandemic is that it's still a violent sport that causes injuries on the field. In the last 2 weeks, you guys have been hit pretty hard by them, most notably offensively with Ronnie Stanley and then Nick Boyle Sunday night. How do you guys make sure that, one, that doesn't derail what you guys want to do offensively while also acknowledging how big those losses are?
I think when you lose players like that, those players are irreplaceable. Ronnie Stanley, Nick Boyle, those are two of the best at their position across the league, and their presence will definitely be missed. But at the same time, we have to keep moving forward. We have great depth on our team, great depth in our locker room, and the next guys, we all have faith in, we all believe in them, and we'll all have to work together to pick up that slack. We're going to fight for them, we're going to play hard for them, and we're going to make sure we make them proud by playing at a high level and continuing to win games.
And Mark, whether you're winning or losing, at this point in the season, it really feels like the grind is on. For you, as a player who's accomplished a lot and has been at it a long time, what's the motivation every day?
Man, we want to be champions. We want to be champions. We want to be the best. And we want to put our best foot forward every single Sunday. So winning each day is of the most importance. We have practice. We have to make sure that we're knowing our game plan in and out, that we're knowing the Titans in and out, what they're going to be doing, how they're going to be trying to stop us, studying film, knowing our assignments, how to execute our assignments to the fullest of our ability. Those are of the utmost importance, and those are what we're focused on each day, winning one day at a time. That's all you can do, one rep at a time, one play at a time, one day at a time. That's how you prepare yourself to put your best foot forward to play to the best of your abilities on Sunday.
You mentioned the Titans. There's obviously a history with this organization that goes back a long time, and then there's one that goes back a few months for this fan base and for this team. As you look at this year's version of Tennessee and with what you guys are looking like here in Week 11, what are the keys to this game?
Man, we have to play winning football. We have to play physical. We have to obviously block their defensive front, and we have to, be a problem for their offensive front. Our skilled players, we have to be able to make plays. We have to be able to keep the ball in our possession, keep moving the ball. On defense, take the ball away from them, keep our quarterback clean, get their quarterback on the ground, enforce our run game and stop their run game, and make the big plays when they when they present themselves. So we have a great team coming in here with the Titans. They play hard, they're coached well, and we feel like we're tough to beat when we play to the best of our ability. So we'll be focused on putting our best foot forward on Sunday, but we have to win today by doing that.
And lastly, Mark, as much as I know the focus is on the Titans, the landscape in the AFC right now, you have 6 teams, including yourselves, at 6-3. What does that mean to you at this point in the season?
It means that we have a tough conference, and that we have to continue to improve, that we have to continue to get better. There's a lot of tough teams in this race to the playoffs, and our ultimate goal is obviously to win our division, and we're still pushing for that. The main thing we need to do to accomplish our goal is to make the playoffs. So obviously, every single game is of the utmost importance, winning those games, making sure you're playing to your best. And I feel like we haven't played our best yet, and we're still rising, we're still improving, and we'll be peaking at the right time. So the race is tough, the race is tight, but we have the team that's built for it. We're looking forward to it, and hey, that's what you sign up for, man. Is if it was easy, everyone would do it. So it's a challenge, but we're up for it.
No doubt. Well, Mark, always appreciate the time and the perspective. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Now, the Ravens rank 2nd in the NFL in rushing yards, so we'll look to see that running back group get going early and often against the Titans. Still to come on Ravens Report, Pernell McPhee and Bradley Bozeman were both mic'd up for that rainy Sunday night football game in New England. Ravens Wired is next. Welcome back to Ravens Report, presented by MedStar Health. I'm Garrett Downing. The Ravens and the Patriots have played in so many classic games over the years, but we knew that this trip up to Foxborough was always going to feel a little bit different without Tom Brady back there at quarterback for the Patriots. Now, the Ravens started this game strong. They jumped out to an early lead, but then came the torrential rains and the strong winds. All of that kicked in. The Ravens then struggled to stop the run, and they had some ill-timed offensive mistakes, and all of that was just too much to overcome as they fell to the Patriots 23-17. Pernell McPhee and Bradley Bozeman both wore the mic on Sunday, and they take us on the field and inside the action on Ravens Wired.
Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, where it is windy and raining, and the weather is taking a turn for the worse as we speak. The Ravens at 6-2, trying to start the second half of the season with their 7th win, and they will do it in prime time on Sunday Night Football.
Stop trying, clouds are rising, they can't stop us. No.
Tonight, we ain't playing no game. Tonight, we gonna show who the hell we are.
Any other mortal would have lost 8 yards and been sacked.
It's about us. It ain't about nothing else. It's about us.
Touchdown, Willie Snead.
Ah!
It is caught.
We got exactly what we need to do. Every play, every down, give it all you got, baby.
He's got the first down and more. Thinking with the Gus Edwards. Jackson will keep it. Hit in the backfield and drop.
Don't let this moment slip away.
It's game day. Come on. I'm mic'd up tonight, so careful what you say.
Oh, you're mic'd up, too. Ah, let's do it. We all we got. We all we need.
And a Ravens first down right out of the gate.
Nice.
It is miserable in New England.
Go get it, Drew.
Pocket collapsing. He is hit and sacked. Matt Judon.
Yeah! We all know 3rd and 1, what he gonna do?
Good.
Andrews out to the 31-yard line. And Willie Snead is into Patriot territory.
Let's go. Let's keep rolling. Keep rolling.
Jackson will keep it on the read option. Gets around the left edge.
Okay. Yes, very much so.
Duvernay inside the 30, 25-20. The rain continues to blow sideways at Gillette Stadium. Ravens looking at a 1st and goal to start the second quarter.
Hey, let's finish. We got to finish.
Toss to Willie Snead. Sprinting to the right, turns the corner to 5. Hit it to 2, backs in, touchdown, Willie Snead.
Hey, Willie! That's what I'm talking about, Willie! Woo!
And the Ravens strike first in Foxborough.
Hey, let's get rolling. Let's get rolling here.
Hey, we got to match that tempo. Come on. Hey, let's wake up. Play my man, throw his ass and go make a play. That's what I got to do.
Take over. Let's take over.
Jackson wants to throw, fires across the middle. It is caught.
Nice catch, Mark. Nice catch. Hell yeah, Gus.
Tucker's kick is up, and it is good.
Nice job. Nice job.
And that'll do it for the first half, with the Patriots in front of the Ravens, 13-10 at the break. The rain continues to fall, the wind continues to swirl.
I have a puddle in my shoes. We got you. Hey, we got you.
We need y'all.
We got you. Hey, keep balling.
Not at all the Sunday night we expected for the Ravens in the national spotlight. It's just sheets of water coming down in Foxborough right now.
Got you, Nick.
And they've just taken Nick Boyle off the field on the injury card.
They testing our will.
I don't know. I only know what to say. Ticked off.
Ah! Y'all see this? This how we got to play. Just like this.
I mean, the goal every week is to win. So this sucks.
Let's be us. Nobody tight. Play ball.
We ticked off. You know, don't nobody like losing, especially when we know we got a lot of talent on our team.
Let's play Raven football, bro. Trust in the call and do your job.
We just got to continue to build. I mean, I don't think this loss is going to define our season by any means. I give the Patriots a lot of credit. They did what they had to do to win the game. You know, we just got to be better.
Good job, Gus.
Let's go, LJ.
Lob for the end zone. Touchdown! Willie Snead.
Good job.
We're going to fight. It don't matter who we got in there. We're going to continue to fight and put our best effort forward.
Hit in the backfield and drop. Marcus Peters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got 7 games left. Our record is what our record is. And, you know, if we want to change it, we got to change it in the locker room, being critical of ourselves and being real with ourselves.
Week 10 in the books, 23-17 our final.
When it's all said and done and all the games are played, that's when our record really matters.
The loss to the Patriots snapped the Ravens' all-time NFL record of 31 straight games of scoring 20 points or more. It was obviously tough to see that streak end, but it really puts into perspective just how impressive this Ravens offense has been over the last 3 seasons since Lamar Jackson took over at quarterback. Coming up next on Ravens Report, head coach John Harbaugh joins us to preview this week's game against the Tennessee Titans.
Who will deliver in tomorrow's game? Go to budlight.com/delivery to have your game day Bud Lights delivered right to your door.
Welcome back to Ravens Report, presented by MedStar Health. I'm now joined by Ravens head coach John Harbaugh. Coach, thanks so much for the time. A bit of news this week is that the league announced that for the rest of the season, every team will be in the COVID intensive protocol. So what does this mean for the team moving forward in terms of how you operate and what all that entails?
Well, it just means that we have to even ramp up our efforts even more to keep from the contact tracing. That's the main thing, is to keep guys separated when we're spending time together. We've done a great job of that. And I just have to say, the people in our building, okay, from top down, sideways, and all around have been outstanding. We're rewiring, taking walls down, you know, to the extent so we can create the space so we can open up and get our guys the work that they need and the preparation they need. I just appreciate the organization and the people in the organization for the great job they're doing.
So, Coach, one tough piece of news this week is that Nick Boyle was lost for the season with a knee injury against the Patriots. He does so many things well for this team, and a lot of it goes under the radar. What's the process going to be to try to replace him? I know you added Luke Wilson to the practice squad. How have Luke and some of the other tight ends looked this week?
Guys have looked good. You know, we'll be picking one of those guys probably to come up and play in the game. You know, Pat Ricard will take on a bigger role. Of course, Mark Andrews, you know, if it's even possible to take on a bigger role. So we'll be okay, but that's a tough loss. I mean, I can't sugarcoat that one. You know, that was the one that really, that hurts. You know, Nick does so much for us. Pass game, run game, setting the tone, just the type of guy he is, the leader that he is. that was a tough one. We're going to have to overcome that one.
I talked to Derek Wolfe today. He pointed out that, you guys take the field yesterday, you're in full pads. He thought it was maybe one of the best practices that you've had all season. How important was it to kind of come out there on Wednesday, set that tone, and have one of those really good physical practices to get ready for a big game Sunday?
You can be physically beaten if you're not ready to play technique and play with physicality. So we have physical guys. We have a physical team. We're not going to shy away from that. We never have. And I'm proud of the guys for that. Now we got to go out and play on Sunday and the rest of the year. That kind of football.
It's cliche when you're playing the Titans to say it starts with stopping the run, but it's also the truth. I mean, these guys are so good at running the football. What kind of challenge does Derrick Henry and this rushing attack present?
Well, we have a lot of respect for the Tennessee Titans for the run game. We recognize it. The teams in our conference, I think there's a lot of teams like that in our conference, and we've played them all. So we respect them, and we're going to have our work cut out for us, and it's a big challenge, but we're up to it. We're looking forward to it, and we can't wait to get started.
And lastly, Coach, this game is our salute to service game. Obviously, there won't be fans and military members in the stands like there typically are for this game, but what does a salute to service game mean to you as we honor and pay respect to the military members out there?
Well, to me, it's in a lot of ways it's the most important day of the year as far as who we honor and all, and they're all important. But when the flag waves, I mean, everybody honors the veteran part of it and the salute to service part of it, and that's something I think is just so important. I've had one of my military Ravens hats on for the last 3 weeks in a row, because to me, it's been that way the last couple of games we played, and just take it very seriously.
Even though they won't be in the stadium this week, we'll certainly be thinking about all the military members out there and appreciate everything that they do to keep us safe. Coach, thank you so much for the time, and best of luck on Sunday.
Thanks, Garrett.
Coming up next on Ravens Report, former Ravens head coach Brian Billick joins us for his weekly film breakdown as the Ravens prepare to face the Titans.
Brian Billick's Breakdown is powered by Microsoft, the official tablet of the Baltimore Ravens.
Welcome back to Ravens Report from the Under Armour Performance Center. I'm Garrett Downing. The Ravens have a huge matchup on Sunday against the Tennessee Titans, and some key injuries are going to force the Ravens to make adjustments on both sides of the ball. Now, Titans running back Derrick Henry will obviously be a focus for this defense. In last year's playoff loss to Tennessee, Henry rushed for 195 yards, including a 66-yard run that led to a Titans touchdown. Former Ravens head coach Brian Billick looks at what the Ravens did well on Sunday against the Patriots and what they'll need to do against the Titans to come out of this game with a victory.
Well, obviously a wet, tough night in Foxborough for the Baltimore Ravens, and not the least of it is the injuries and the way they're stacking up, which will happen this time of year. You're looking on offensively with Ronnie Stanley and Nick Boyle. Defensively, the heart of that defense with Calais Campbell and Brandon Williams. This is going to be the biggest challenge for John Harbaugh as he goes into obviously a tough week against the Tennessee Titans. But I think we saw some elements in the game against New England that we're going to have to see as they take on the Titans. Let's look at the film here. The big personnel. You got a lot of beef in this formation, but this is going to be important. This run by Gus Edwards. New England made it very important to them. They weren't going to let you get to the outside. So what do? They stretch that edge but stay between the tackles. It's important for this week against the Titans that, yeah, they're going to stretch this out and try to not let Lamar Jackson, the running game, get outside. So they're going to have to be big and physical like this to get downhill. And then obviously this is going to be very important. You got to get more big plays, particularly early, whether it's Hollywood Brown, whether it's Andrews or here. Snead had a big night, obviously. Here, the big touchdown throw with a three-man rush. They had a trap zone where they dropped the backside corner trying to trick Lamar, but he saw it, did a great job of that crossing post to the middle of the field, delivered it with a very wet ball, hard to do, for the touchdown. But then defensively, yeah, it's all about stopping the run. And this is where we're going to have to see Wink Martindale come up with some of these great, not just pressure against the pass, but pressure runs. Here you're going to see, obviously, against an I formation, you're going to see Peters pulling the trigger. They line up man for man. They outnumber the front seven of the New England Patriots like they're going to have to do against Tennessee. And now the secondary, as you see here with Peters here, pulling the trigger. And it's not just pulling the trigger, but getting there and then being physical. This is the kind of defense we're going to have to see more and more, recognizing that there could be some vulnerabilities down the field. Now, with the Patriots, they come back, they spread it out a little bit, and they're going to try to run the ball from this. There again, look at Judon. He forgets the outside fake. He crashes down on the outside. Not that Tannehill's going to pose a running threat, but everybody has to be assignment sound. He'll have to run down Derrick Henry from the backside, just like he ran down Cam Newton here from the backside, in order to stop the really good running game of the Tennessee Titans. So the challenge for the Ravens against a good Tennessee Titan team is real clear cut. They got to run the ball effectively between the tackles, particularly if, like New England, they're not going to let them get to the outside. They've got to get explosive early in the game, whether it's Marquise Brown, whether it's Andrews, in order to get that defense to back off a little bit. That should open the running lanes. And then defensively, you've got to be able to account for, obviously, Derrick Henry. You can figure you're going to get a heavy dose of it. Wink Martindale's going to have to come up with some of these patented Ravens run-stopping pressures, putting an extra man on the line of scrimmage, building that picket fence, pulling the trigger, and not letting Derrick Henry get started.
The Ravens-Titans rivalry was a fierce one, and that goes back to the old days of the AFC Central. Now they're in different divisions, and the old-school rivalry has cooled a little bit, but expect this game to be one that's tough and gritty. Both of these teams pack strong rushing attacks. The Ravens are second in the NFL, and the Titans are sixth. Now, we've already talked a lot about running back Derrick Henry, but quarterback Ryan Tannehill, he can make some big plays with his arm, and the Titans have wide receiver A.J. Brown, who's an emerging star with 6 touchdowns already this season. If the Ravens are going to win this week, they need to have some success throwing the football. The Titans rank 28th in the league in pass defense, so the Ravens need to get Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown going in this game. That's it for this week's show, but be sure to check out Ravens Pregame Live on Sunday starting at noon. You can catch all the action from pregame warm-ups at M&T Bank Stadium. Watch it on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, BaltimoreRavens.com, our mobile app, and our CTV apps. Check it out on Sunday. That's it for us. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week on Ravens Report.